What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Whiskey Ways podcast. I'm your host, Dylan. I got my co-host, Alex, in the house.
Yes, sir.
And today we have a third co-host slash guest, Courtney. Courtney, say hi.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
So we're having to share one of our mics because we don't have a third one, but it is what it is. We're going to work with it. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have tuned in or have been tuning in to the podcast and listening to the last couple episodes. Last week was Cinco de Mayo, and we dropped a pretty good episode on that one.
Pretty long.
Pretty long, but it was pretty good. And it's definitely worth the listen if you haven't listened to it yet. But anyways, this week we have another new bottle to add to the show. This bottle is, as you can see, called Elijah Craig. And
it is their small batch bottle.
Yeah, small batch, Kentucky straight bourbon. So it's pretty good. It's 94 proof. And if you haven't heard of it yet, then you're gonna want to stick around to hear the little story about it and everything. So Alex, I'll let you go ahead and bring that in.
Okay, so I guess everybody that's been like down, I guess like kind of in the know with the.
Is the music still going?
Yeah, That's post edit.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, yeah. So, Elijah Craig. So he was a Baptist preacher in the 1800s in Kentucky, and so this is from Elijah Craig's website, from the Bourbon's website. He said he was an educator, road builder, a land inspector, and built the first paper and wool mills in Georgetown, Kentucky. But it was his gift as a distiller and entrepreneur that establishes his place in history as the father of bourbon. So, I guess like a lot of people that have, been drinking bourbon for a while, been drinking whiskey for a while, have at least heard of Elijah Craig if they haven't actually had the bourbon yet. But
I guess you could call him one of the OGs.
Yeah. So, definitely an OG in the whiskey world, in America at least, but he's known as the father of bourbon and is credited with being the first distiller ever to age his whiskey in charred oak barrels, which, as we know, is what makes modern bourbon.
Yes.
It's what, basically what it is, because without that, it's literally just clear corn whiskey.
Yeah.
More or less. So the story, I guess, kind of behind how he began this aging his whiskey in charred American oak barrels is so apparently it's largely unknown. Like, it's kind of an unconfirmed story, but kind of, I guess, like the most widely known or like widely accepted story behind it is that his the mill where he was storing his whiskey at the time caught on fire and charred the barrels, and obviously it didn't like completely burn them up and like all that, but then obviously like he's like, I guess this whiskey's still good, whatever, we'll hang on to it, and it turns out it was actually pretty damn delicious.
Yeah.
So,
well, as you can see, we've already killed half the bottle.
Yeah, what, we've had this bottle maybe a week.
Yeah, but
10 days.
I don't know, we kind of decided to, because in the beginning we were waiting to crack the bottles until we started recording the episode, and kind of realized like it's kind of hard to get good sensory notes of whatever it is that we're drinking, because it's literally right there in the moment.
Yeah. You kind of need time to like slow it down, think about it, and kind of pull some thoughts together.
By no means am I an expert in my sensory notes.
I feel like we're getting there.
Ooh.
I feel like we're getting there.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna need my my whiskey sommelier chain here pretty soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's outrageous. Their courses that they got.
Oh, I know. It's like there's one whiskey sommelier school in the world, and it's, if any of you guys look up whiskey or anything like that on YouTube, the Whiskey Vault guys, one of them is the one who runs the school, and it's a pretty penny, but like it's one of those that like I really wish I could go. Like I really wish I could.
It'd be cool to go to. And
yeah, I would just do like the level 1 sommelier class.
To be honest, it's really for like just like the businesses, like bars and stuff.
Yeah,
it really is their target audience.
Yeah, and like I mean, I feel like you could kind of acquire that knowledge through like years and years. But honestly, I just think it would be cool to like go to the class and kind of see what all they're teaching and what all they're doing. Yeah, especially for the pod, Yeah. So if anybody wants to sponsor me and throw down like $4,000 for me to go to Texas and go do the sommelier school,
maybe Elijah Craig will sponsor us.
Hey,
if they see this,
yeah, they might do it actually.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I guess we can toast this up to what, episode 11 now?
Episode 11.
God almighty. Ooh. All right, well.
Clink.
Cheers, fam.
Okay. Wait, how do you swirl?
Yep, you agitate it, and you give yourself a nice little whiskey mustache. You breathe in through your nose with your mouth open, so you can kind of get a little bit of those notes.
Smells like alcohol.
We're learning.
And then you'll take a sip.
Believe it or not, guys, this is a learning experience for all of us involved.
Yeah. And then you keep agitating, and again, give yourself a little whiskey mustache. And you just kind of want to, when it starts to burn, like Alex said before the other day, when it starts to burn your nose a little bit, that's when you want to pull it away.
Bring it up, and then once you like feel it starting to like curl your nose hairs a little bit, then kind of back it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let you guys get another sip in. What do you guys what were you kind of getting off the nose on this one?
So for me, so let's just say I'm not like I said, I'm not an expert. So, but what I'm really picking up a lot, I feel like I'm getting a lot of hints of like vanilla.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of caramel.
Yeah, so like I feel like on my first nose of this one, like
definitely some wood.
It was almost overwhelming wood for me.
Yeah,
like it was
definitely
just, like,
some wood.
Like it almost smelled like I said earlier. I was like, it kind of smells like a wicker chair, like a new wicker chair is kind of what it, and like oak.
For me, when I get the most like notes from it is when I almost like directly over top of it. Yeah. And smelling it from like side to side is when I really get a lot of the notes.
I cannot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely on the second nose is like super heavy vanilla.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean,
that's cool about these glasses though, is because with a traditional like straight bourbon glass, like a rocks glass
or a low bar,
you're not going to get a lot of those notes because you're just getting a lot of the alcohol is overpowering the notes inside the whiskey. With this, because you agitate it like this, it's allowing the I guess fumes of the alcohol to escape the glass, and then the notes are what's left behind.
Right.
Mhm. Yep, what they said. I smell all the notes. All the notes.
Yeah. So that being said, this is definitely one of my favorite just straight bourbons that we've done on the show. Yeah. This one's very good. So it's a 94 proof. It's distilled and bottled by Elijah Craig Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, which watched a documentary about Bardstown earlier, and it's like the pretty much like the capital, like the bourbon capital of the world, and even Kentucky. So that's definitely kind of cool. But yeah, so today Elijah Craig is actually owned by Heaven Hills Distillery. It's kind of just an umbrella company. Yeah. And oddly enough, honestly, I don't remember. This was a little before my time, but back in 1996, the Heaven Hills Distillery, they lost like I think 7 storehouses of their whiskey. Like
I was 1 year old.
Yeah, I wasn't even born yet. Let's not talk about it. But yeah.
No, so, yeah, I saw you watching that documentary, and I like walked in on that moment of like seeing like
the fire.
It literally like, up in flames.
Footage. It was crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, no.
And how much did you say that like what was basically worth what they lost?
I really don't know. Is like I didn't like actually look it up. I kind of did the rough math. So there was like it said that they lost 90,000 barrels and at roughly there's round about 200 bottles or 200 fifths in a barrel.
Yeah.
And then so you multiply that by 90,000, and that's a lot. And then like, you know, you think $30 a bottle, you know, you're looking, or $40 a bottle depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, sure, honestly, I'm sure some of those barrels were 10, 20 years old, you know, because I mean, just because it's like a 4 or 6 year bottle doesn't mean that there's not a 10-year whiskey in that blend, you know?
Right.
They kind of, I mean, that's like the youngest, like the bottle age is like the youngest whiskey that's in that, blend. What, are you laughing at the cat?
I'm not laughing at Alex. I'm laughing at the fact that our cat is
starting to
screaming
wonder.
at us behind this door.
I don't know if the mics are picking it up because,
It's
like
so-
last week, I don't know if whenever I went like this last week, I was listening because the freaking lawn dudes were outside, like just going to town. It sounded like, I'm like, Jesus, man, like literally sounded like they were right outside the window and we're like on the second floor. But like, I didn't know if I'm surprisingly.
No one heard.
Like when I listened back the audio,
I
I didn't hear it at all. You might have heard
I
that
heard
one.
that. I heard that through the headphones.
You might have heard that one.
Comment down below if you're following Whiskey Ways podcast and you still prefer wine. That is all.
Maybe like one person.
Wonder if Rufus thinks I'm talking shit about him again.
Probably.
I flamed
He's probably
him on
like,
the last one.
where the hell did everybody go?
Yeah, probably.
He just hears noise in this
I
room.
hear you guys.
Well,
But yeah, so I think that's
that's about it on the background
honestly,
of Elijah.
like, so we'll collect our final thoughts, but really I think this is one of the better, just good, like all around well balanced bourbons, straight bourbons that I've had
So
ever.
because
really,
I know we didn't do it last week, and I don't remember if we did it the week before.
well, we
didn't
did the
rate it.
tequila, and then we
We
did
didn't.
it. We did it the week before because we forgot the week before that
Yeah.
to rate
So
it. Yeah, so
I
I like this though.
I'm gonna rate this one. I'm gonna rate Elijah Craig a 9.
Ooh, is that your highest?
That's my highest.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
What did you rate Screwball, the first one?
Well, Screwball's in a different category because it's a flavored whiskey.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that was the same
I
category. For this
feel
guy,
like
it'd be 10 out of
Yeah.
10 automatic.
like I feel
We
like
get some Crown Apple in here. Like, 10.
well, no, I feel like you can't rate flavored whiskeys the same
No,
as
no,
straight whiskeys.
I agree.
You know?
Because yeah. So it's like I found out, like, you know, Fireball. Fireball is literally not whiskey. It's colored and flavored vodka.
I hate Fireball.
Really?
But they market it as whiskey because whiskey isn't a legally binding term like bourbon is.
Yeah.
Like, really, you can just, like,
You can call so if it's a vodka, you technically could call it a whiskey.
it's basically what Fireball did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like,
Dep-
obviously, if it's like a straight vodka, like, you're just gonna call it vodka.
Yeah.
But like, it's
Which I
like
don't
Fireball.
I'm not a
Fireball is
huge fan of vodka.
heavily flavored. Oh hell no, I hate vodka.
Vodka's oof.
Can't do it. I hate it. But well, that being said, like, I forget what I was watching the other day, but they were talking about vodka and like they explained it really well. So like they're talking about mixed drinks and cocktails, and they're like, you know, you like when you add whiskey to something, it flavors it. It flavors whatever you put it in. So like if you do like whiskey and water, it's literally whiskey flavored
So-
water. But you put vodka in stuff for the sole purpose of making it alcoholic. Making it an alcohol.
Anytime you drink
alcoholic
vodka,
beverage.
you're drinking vodka not for the enjoyment.
You're trying to die.
You're just
You're trying to
have a
get
good night.
hammered and not taste anything.
Yeah.
It tastes like you're just drinking
But
Kool-Aid.
so
or God
this
knows what
morning,
else.
I was watching a video. You know, Tipsy Bartender.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sure
Of course.
everybody knows Tipsy Bartender. So he posted a video of a mixed drink called The Graveyard, and literally, I would never drink this.
Was it
in my
like
life.
just a horrid mix of liquor?
It was literally. I think it was a. I think it was a vodka, a tequila, a rum, and some. I know for a fact Johnny Walker was in there. And then, like, and each of those was, I'm pretty sure, was a 3 count pour.
This is one drink.
This is one drink.
Oh God, I thought.
And then he adds like half a bottle of Heineken, and then a half a bottle of Guinness.
No.
Literally
You
looked like
lost me.
looked like motor oil.
You lost me. Guinness is motor oil. You lost me.
Like,
I love me some beer, but God bless, I ain't drinking Guinness. It's
Dude.
literally like drinking 5W30.
like, oh my gosh, dude! It straight up was death. Like,
Yeah.
I can, without even tasting it, I can see like that's
why it's called that.
that's why it's called the graveyard. Because
Yeah, it's like those.
I'm not condoning any of you guys to try that drink at all either. I've never even had it, but just from watching him make that drink, it was just.
What was that last
God.
hunch bunch we made? It was bad. It was like a liquid marijuana, but then we ended
Halloween?
up putting a ton of other stuff in it. Yeah, I think it was for Halloween.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't remember.
Halloween, I don't know.
That's good.
I don't remember.
At some point in time.
Okay.
But
Your
all right, I guess
ratings.
that concludes up the.
Well, you rated it.
Oh
Yeah,
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 you
that's
rated
right.
it. Fuck.
I rated it a 9.
It's really hard for me to give it a 9.
I feel like you're just being like hard-headed when it comes to the whiskeys and rating them.
Yeah, but like, so I feel like for the show, and for the sake of the show, like, I feel like for us to give it like above like a 9.2, it's gonna have to be like unbelievably good, like just best thing you've ever had in your life. Like what is a 10?
I don't know.
What is it? Because we've had some damn good ones, and this one is.
I
damn
feel like
good.
you don't. Whenever you rate it 10, it's because it'll be when we've had like numerous amounts of like different types of whiskey, and it's just gonna be that one.
It's
that
just one of those that
literally is
leaves
just
you
like,
speechless.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no part about it makes you like kind of like,
Yeah. That's kind of this for me, to be honest. Like, this is really good.
That's what I'm saying. It's so easy for me to drink.
I'm gonna give this one a 9.1.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give it a 9.1. I like this. I think this
Okay.
is better than a 9.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
yeah.
This is like, it's a good proof, like mid 90. It's 94 proof, which is like perfect middle of the road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not like
it's straight up gasoline going down your throat, but it has like a nice low grade burn that kind of lingers after you're done. Like, this is a good one.
Yeah.
The flavors blend well together. It's sweet, not too sweet. It's kind of mellow wood flavor. It's the wood's a little bit overwhelming on your first nose, like if you just smell it or you just smell it out of the bottle. Like, the wood's a little bit overwhelming, but I think after that first sip, it definitely tones down and it all blends really well together.
It's really nice.
Give this a 9.1. This is good.
And what about you?
Well, I don't think it would be fair for me to rate whiskey straight up neat, as you would call it, because my preferred drink is Crown Apple and Diet Coke. So for me, I judge a whiskey based on how well it mixes with Coke. So
This is to me.
so
This is
this
like,
would probably be good mixed with
yeah.
Diet Coke.
Yeah. So like a lot of the so one of the big reasons that Jack and Coke is such a big thing is because Old Number 7 Jack Daniels is so heavy on vanilla that when you mix it with Coke, it has like that whiskey taste, but it's like a vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
Like, it's delicious. It
Yeah.
blends really well together. And this is also kind of heavy on vanilla, so I feel like this would be good
It
in
would
a
probably
Coke.
be good.
Yeah, it's
And it's really not that. It's what?
pretty sure I've already
what,
had
like
it with
$30
some Coke.
for a bottle.
This is
It's
not.
It's not expensive.
I think that's what I love most is like, I'm fine with spending a little bit of money on a bottle, but
I am too.
it is disappointing when you spend some money on a bottle and it's not good.
Yeah, no.
So
But yeah, I mean,
so final results, can't go wrong with Elijah Craig.
absolutely not.
Like-
This is gonna be a new go-to for
Yeah,
me.
if you're looking for something new to try, we recommend Elijah Craig. You won't be disappointed.
Had to throw a go-to in there for old Jason. He was making fun of me the other day.
Yeah. All right, so on to the topic of this episode. We're gonna get into little bit of kind of like life planning, and kind of what are our opinion. I said that right.
What
right?
are our?
What are
Well, yeah.
what our opinions are?
It's
What
there we
our
go.
It's a hard one to say. It's like one of those.
Wasn't the
that you,
best
like,
in English, but
yeah, it's like one of those that you say it and it sounds messed up, but it's not.
yeah. So first off, and either of you guys can take it away for this question, but basically, how much should you or how much can you plan things in your life?
So, I think you should plan things as much as you can. But that being said, I don't think you can plan very much. Which, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like almost a vague and like almost like somewhat like philosophical sounding answer. But I mean, so kind of the boat that I'm in, and that's kind of what put this whole topic kind of like in my mind. And like, I was like, like I feel like we could talk about that. But so really it's like, I think that you should plan as much as you can, because, whether you really stick to it or not, like you have something to like look forward to and like put your effort into. But that being said, like kind of the point I'm at right now is like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make my transition out of the Army. I'm ready to go do my own thing, and I know what I'm going to do, and I know how I'm going to do it. It's just like I'm kind of in that limbo stage now where it's like I know what I'm doing, but it's like kind of how am I going to get there to like that starting point that I'm kind of like like I don't know, like it's like I've done all this planning and like all this stuff to like prepare myself to get out, but then now I'm at this point where I'm like I'm just kind of waiting, and I feel like I'm stagnating. But I mean, I just literally have to like kill the next 6 months to like get out. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready to go. Like I could get out today and be perfectly fine, but it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's like I feel like I've done all this planning and like preparing, and then here I am, and I feel like I'm stagnating now because I'm not really like doing anything towards like more planning or towards actually initiating my plan. You know what I mean? So It's kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think for most people, like life planning kind of starts happening, I don't know, generally like in high school, like you're expected, okay, are you going to go to college? Are you going to get a job? Are you going to join the military? Things like that. So I think it's important to like make plans, but understand that you as a person is going to like, you're going to change year by year as you grow up. But I think it's also important to have plans because that's what pushes you to strive for new goals and to reach like the lifestyle you want to attain. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. That's like the first thoughts that come to my mind.
Yeah. I think you guys are pretty much spot on with it. I feel like, we're taught to plan everything out in our lives. Like literally from the moment that we start going to school, we're always told we need to start thinking about our future. We need to start thinking about college, what kind of degree we're going to get in college. And we need to start thinking about what kind of career we want to do by the time we hit middle school and, and whatnot. We need to figure out where we're going to be by the time we're 30. And I think that, that's definitely asking way too much of somebody, especially growing up. Like, because it's I forget where I heard it from, but basically like to kind of sum it up, like from the time like all the way up till like the age of 7, basically you are kind of like in this dream state, your mind, like literally everything in your mind is like, is new, and you're kind of like in this kind of realm where you feel like you can achieve anything, and it's like that the time where you believe that you can be an astronaut, basically, and then the moment you start going to school, and a lot of times it's from your parents, they end up telling you like, oh, well, that's cute, but, maybe you should think about something more realistic and whatnot. And it kind of, that right there, I feel like is a lot of the reason why like kids' dreams get shattered is because growing up, we're told like, oh, you can be anything you want in this world. And then when you start really getting into, the groove of things of life, you're you're being told now, like, oh, you need to be more realistic. You need to get a secure job, and you need to try and make it to college off of a scholarship. And that's not a bad thing.
No.
But basically, I went off a little bit, but I think that it's definitely good to plan. And I feel like you should plan pretty far ahead. I would say probably about 5 years ahead. But obviously knowing like life is probably going to throw you some, throw little wrenches in.
Yeah. That was literally my next thing I was going to
say. Yeah. Life is going to throw some things at you, and it's going to throw you off your course. And, I like I said in a previous episode, I wanted to go to college and play football, but certain things happened, and a lot of it was because of my own doing. And I ended up going into the workforce, and then I ended up joining the military. And again, like, I thought I was going to be in the military for quite a while before I joined. And here I am, like, I'm only going to do one more contract and I'm getting out. And I know that for sure. Like, and again, I know that for sure right now.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe 2-3 years later.
At the start of this 3-year contract, I was like,
but
I could probably do like maybe at least 10. Oh.
As of right now, like, that's my plan. And I think it's very important to also be be able to adjust,
Yeah.
like, know where you want to go, but also keep your options open.
Yeah.
Keep those other avenues of opportunities open.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. As far as like the plans that you do make, and like you said, I think it's important to have like a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year plan, whatever. But I think, the farther out you get, the more loose you have to be with that planning. It's not like, okay, like I'm 23 now. When I'm 33, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this. I'm going to live here, do this, and like all that. Like, no, like you're like, this is what I'm going to shoot for. Sure. But like, I can't say like for sure anything. I can't say what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so. And honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm probably going to take away from the military is just the fact that you can plan, but there's always going to be somebody or something that throws your plans off.
Yeah.
Or something that, like, if you think something's going to happen, chances are it's not.
I feel like almost being in the military, you can only plan up to like a 2-year. Having like a 2-year plan.
Not even.
Like, yeah.
Not even.
I feel like 1 year for sure, but like 2 years is like generally like what you are going to try and plan for, because obviously, like, I feel like going into the military, you already know, like, especially if you plan on doing it for 10 years or even 20 years, you're going to be going all over the world. So
yeah,
with that, like it's inevitable to only be able to plan, for those 3 years at a time.
And so honestly, like, that's kind of one of the things that I like really don't like about the military is like when going into it, you know that like you're gonna have this lifestyle. You're gonna be like moving all over the place. That like you're basically owned by the government, which they're literally owned by the government. Yep. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So, but like. You know that going in, but then once you get here, you almost get like this false sense of stability, and that like, okay, like I'm here for 3 years, like like, okay, yeah, we may deploy at some point, is what it is, but like outside of that, like you're like, okay, this is like a relative constant, you know what I mean? Like my lifestyle right now is like gonna be like somewhat, and like it feels like it would be like almost like reliably constant, but it's not. It's like 36 hours, like it can completely change, and you're doing the exact, like the complete 180 opposite of what you thought you were going to be doing 2 days from now.
Yeah. Well, I think too, a huge part of it is like people go into the military usually younger, and like I think it all comes down to like what's the most important thing to you in your life at that time. So like when you're younger at least the biggest thing for me joining is like, okay, I get to travel, I get to meet new people, I get my college paid for, I get to serve my country, but it's all like very general, broad, you know, decisions and like life planning, I guess. But then I feel like what happens is that once we get older, for example, now a couple of years later, we realize, okay, the most important thing to me is my time, my family, my relationships, and you don't have that freedom to make the choice to like separate at that time. You're kind of stuck because you signed a contract. So like at the time, yeah, when you signed your contract, you were all for it because like those were the most important things to you at that time. But now obviously things change, or some people stick with it and do career because that is the most important thing to them, is like serving and still traveling, and like they're maybe single, not married, not like don't have kids, things like that, and they're okay with that lifestyle. But I think as you get older, at least for me, like those are the most important things for me. So like, how much time am I going to be able to spend with my family or my significant other or with my kids when I have kids? You know, am I going to want to do nursing 12-hour shifts where I can have like 3-4 days off in a row, or am I going to want to have like a stable 9-to-5 job Monday through Friday kind of deal? So I feel like that's a huge factor, is like realizing like why you made those decisions, and that's okay. But now like, how are you going to change your lifestyle moving forward to fit your new like values, beliefs, goals for your next couple of years?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, because like I feel like, you know, you have to change your plans because your life is constantly changing. Like I'm probably gonna find out something tomorrow that's gonna change the way I feel about what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? Like
I know I am.
To some extent, but you know, it's kind of I don't know.
I think that, and again, because we're speaking from being in the military, like,
yeah,
a lot of people like think like, because we're in the military, like we have it made. You know, people throw like, oh, you got a free roof over your head. Oh, you get, you know, 3 meals a day paid for. Like, you get all of these benefits.
Yeah.
You know, like, and while all those things, yeah, those are great things, but all those things are at a cost of our choice of like what we're doing with our lives. And granted, that's something we know that we're signing up for, but at the same time,
to
like,
an extent,
yes, when we know it to an extent when we're signing up, because let's face it, like, you can feel as prepared as you want to feel before you join the military, it is going to knock you on your ass every single time, because that, like, let's just say, like, things do not go
according to
plan.
Never.
Hardly ever in the military. And that's a hard thing to consistently be doing when you're a kind of person who is a planner. Yeah. And you want to, like, figure out where you're going to go with your life.
The one thing that, like, you can consistently plan on is that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I say, like, it's very important
military,
to be able to adapt to your situation. Yeah. You know, it's cliche to say, like, adapt and overcome, but truly, like, you need to be able to do that.
Literally have to.
Like, and the thing of it is like, the military is going to teach you to make the best of the worst situations.
Yeah.
And those things can be very beneficial for when you get out of the military, because I'm going to tell you right now, I see a lot of people, like, who back home who, like, are complaining about some shit, and I'm just like, bro, you have no idea. Like, you are, like, living the life, and you're complaining about this.
Yeah, like
I mean, I think it's all, like, relative, though. You know, I think it's hard to, like,
can extend.
I think it's hard to, like, compare problems, you know, because civilians, like, if you're not in the military, you don't have family in the military or significant other in the military, it's very hard to wrap your head around the challenges that come with being in the military. Whereas, like, we see people in civilian jobs complaining about this and that and politics in their job, and we say, like, yeah, you have no idea. You don't know what it's like. You know, it's crazy, but I feel like it's hard to compare people's struggles. Like, that is, you know, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. Like, comparing your problems to someone else's problems is just, like, a whole different ballgame. You know, I think that everything is relative to the situation, so our problems just seem so big and fierce because we're in it. We're like living through it. Whereas that's the same thing that the civilian thinks of their job, who has a crappy boss and, coworkers who just leave them out to dry. But I don't know. I think it's all very relative. And yeah, like in the military, that was your choice, whether you realize it or not, whether the recruiter did an extra good job at recruiting you. Yeah. It was our choice. So like at the end of the day, we suck it up. And a lot of people like love the military, and that's like the lifestyle that they've always wanted and dreamt of. Like I have a friend from back home in high school. She loved everything about she would always watch the show Military Wives, or was it?
Yep.
Military Wives.
Yep.
And that was, she wanted that lifestyle so bad, and
No, you don't.
she was obsessed with it. No, and she's married to someone from high school in the military. They're high school sweethearts. They're married. He's on a deployment right now, and she's doing great. And like that was her lifestyle, but that was a lifestyle that she's always dreamt of having. Like whether that sounds crazy to some people or not, like she's in it because that's kind of what like her vision was for her life, and she's like making the most out of it because that's where she was kind of like almost meant to be, so I think it also takes like a special person to be related to someone in the military or married to someone in the military, as far as like life planning goes. Like you're not going to be with someone for probably like at least 30 to 40% of your relationship until that person separates. So I think that's like an extra sidetrack lifestyle, but like a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I don't want to take away. That's what I don't want to take away from like people's like situations, because unless you're in someone else's shoes, you truly don't know what it is like.
Yeah.
But and we are kind of given like an outside looking in kind of point of view, and that's how everybody does. That's what everybody does. Everybody always is giving.
That's all you can do. You can give a perspective about your own lifestyle, but as far as anything else goes, like y'all's lifestyle is different than mine. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We live in the same house, hell, but like our lifestyles are different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And like you can give your perspective, but at the end of the day, like I feel like you kind of like you were saying, like it's kind of like your lifestyle and your opinion of it is kind of relative. So like, I could be hating my life over here living in Hawaii. Sounds bad. Living in Hawaii, like, in the Army, realistically, like we're not going to work right now and I'm still getting a paycheck. Yeah. So my life could be a hell of a lot worse. A hell of a lot worse. But like I'm still, that being said, like I'm not satisfied with it. I would rather do something different with my life. But
I mean like
can't necessarily complain.
It's like the other day,
not, like elated about it,
Yeah. Like the other day, I was speaking to one of the guys we went to basic with, and he's transitioning over to another duty station, and I was just kind of giving him a little bit, like I'm not gonna lie, I probably was in a little bit of a down kind of mood, and I kind of was just saying, Hawaii's not what you think. And he's like, bro, like you literally live in paradise. What do you have to complain about? And it's like, dude,
have you ever tried to drive a car down H2 at like 4:00 in the afternoon?
Yeah. No. Like I always tell people whenever like I'm having a conversation about me living in Hawaii, and I don't really like when people are like, bro, you must be like, you're living in paradise. Oh my God. It's like, bro, you guys really, like, Hawaii is not like it's the greatest place in the world. Hawaii, especially in Florida.
I would say
literally take half of Florida and make it an island, and that's kind of like, well, I'm gonna say take the Panhandle. Take the Panhandle of Florida and make it just an island.
The Panhandle?
Yes.
I think it's cold up there still.
Huh?
It gets cold up there still.
It gets cold here.
No, it don't.
I mean, it does, dude.
Doesn't.
It does, dude.
So, yeah, we feel chilly when it's 65.
I know it's not, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I guarantee, like, old boy at, like, Leonardwood.
Anyways.
It's, like, 65. This dude's, like, sweating. He's like,
anyways,
oh, my God. Like,
what, like, the thing of it is, like, I don't know. I feel like naturally I'm a very kind of, like, humble kind of person. And when somebody's like, dude, you haven't made, like, you're living you're living in paradise. And I'm like, not really. Like, it's really not that great. But honestly, like, you know, it boils down to the fact that you said it's perspective. Yeah. Like, Hawaii might be nice, but I'm telling you right now, where we're at, and I'm talking military, I'm not going to, if they don't already know, they probably don't know, but I'm not going to say like where we're stationed, but it ain't basically, so here's my, I feel like where we're at is like a redheaded stepchild, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We are.
Compared to, and that's just my perspective. That's my point of view. Like, I don't know what it's like at other duty stations across the world, you know, and for all I know, I feel like everybody kind of has that same perspective, you know, like wherever you're at, wherever you're stationed, like I feel like everybody's all like, bro, it's really not that great here. And there are a few places, you know, that I feel like is you're for sure going to be a great time. But I think what makes a duty station is the unit that you're with. Yeah. Because the reason you have a good experience or a bad experience
is the
boils down to the people you work with,
people around you,
your leadership, your peers, the lower enlisted, like all the people in your unit. That's what makes your experience whatever the experience is. Yep. A good one or a bad one.
Yep. And so
let's just say
you and I've seen it go both ways.
People who are like, you know, not in the military might think like we're all these good apples, and I'm telling you right now, there's
absolutely. No,
for every good one, there's a bad one.
It's probably for every good one, there's two bad ones. To be honest with you.
So I saw you grabbing for the mic. So,
but yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I don't know. Well, I think so. Yeah. If say you had your dream job, your family, friends were here, this would be the best place on earth. You know, it's all relative as far as like your experiences, your life, like growing up. You know, you could say like, yeah, Florida's the best place on earth because that's where your memories are, your friends, your family, like your ideal lifestyle. Yeah, it's like a pride, like a. Kind of like that's where you're comfort, unless your hometown. Yeah, maybe I mean, for some people. Like, for some people, it's not.
All the people you grew up with, all of like, you know, at least a good portion of like some of your most people's best memories are in their hometowns. Like, I would so much rather be in my hometown where I grew up than be here right now. Like, and like honestly, so like, you know, like when I like go home now, it's not to where I grew up. It's you know, the complete opposite end of the state, but. I mean, you know, honestly, I'd rather go to Gulf Shores than to Hawaii at this point. The beaches in the Gulf, way better.
I like it here.
Pacific,
it's expensive.
Pacific, you ain't got nothing on the Gulf. Sorry, sorry about it.
Yeah, see, that's where you and I don't agree.
The water's prettier, and you can surf here. That's it.
Yeah.
Go to the Atlantic side of Florida, you can surf, but it's kind of cold.
Back, are we still talking about planning life?
I let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to. It's hard when we only have a mic to share.
I don't know. Are we still talking? Well, okay, we kind of got real off the topic of like life planning, but.
You know, I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess
that's what this show is.
That's why it was an hour and 45 minutes.
I don't think we did. No, we're doing good this
time. I don't know. Then go ahead, finish your thoughts.
I was just gonna say like. It's hard for you, like for me, like I'm not gonna argue your statement. I'm just gonna say that what I'm saying is I'm not gonna argue his statement about like Gulf Shores is better than Hawaii because of the
Gulf
fact.
Shores, I'm saying the Gulf.
I'm just saying there's some similarities, but there's way too many differences.
It's subjective.
There's way too many differences. We're on an island. You're not on an island over in the Gulf.
Okay, but I'm okay. So
being on an island, we're limited. This is where
you and I think could give a unique perspective. When we go home to like a beach town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So like this is nothing special.
This beach is I'm telling you,
it's so
100 times better than the Gulf.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. The beaches back home. Sorry about it. Fort Morgan. Sorry about it. Yeah, all right. There might be.
So what makes Fort Morgan special?
The sand
You just
The sand. So that's just the Gulf. Literally the sand on the beach. You know this.
So the sand here in
is
Hawaii is a lot thicker than the sand back home.
It's coarse. It's sticky. It
is very sticky.
It's like powder.
Back home,
like Tony Montana powder back home.
But it still sticks to you.
Yeah, but it's nice. Like it's like so soft and nice.
For me, I think a lot of the reason why I like the sand here better than back home is one, the color. It's a tan. It's like a tan brown.
The white does get annoying when it's super sunny.
Yeah,
and it's bouncing
like
off.
Back home.
It does get annoying.
And this sounds
but it
so
feels so
like
much better.
this
bro.
sounds so
feels
petty.
So much nicer.
But like back home, like you're sitting on the beach, and if it's a sunny ass day, that sand's blinding you.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's white sand. It's the sun is literally reflecting right off of it. Here, the beach, the sand here kind of absorbs the light coming from the sun. I know that sounds so petty, but it makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
And the fact that unless I'm just hypothetically saying, if you trip and fall on the beaches here, you're landing on like a pillow. You trip and fall on the beaches back home, you're landing on almost concrete.
Yeah, but
because because it's so fine, it makes it so much more compact.
It packs down, yeah. But like, I mean, where you? I ain't never been where you're from, bro. I ain't never been to like Tampa or anywhere around there.
Yeah, so
I ain't been to the beaches down there.
I'm not knocking Tampa.
All I'm saying,
like Clearwater is a nice beach.
So I've heard.
I don't know if it really.
I want to say I have some friends in Clearwater.
It lives up to its name a little bit. Like the water's. Clear,
so that's what I was gonna say.
Like, it's like a murky kind of clear.
The water here
is
phenomenal.
Absolutely as clear.
Atlantic Gulf.
This clear.
Yeah. I mean, you could be like waist deep and still see your toes. Like it's
you could be in 20-foot water and see the
bottom.
See the bottom.
Yeah,
like
it is. It's amazing.
Like you like, back on Clearwater Beach, if you're in 20-foot water, bro, you don't even know it's 5 feet underneath you.
Yeah, bro, you can't even see your hand in front of you. Like, bro, snorkeling back home.
Damn it,
no, bro, it's scary as hell.
I don't know. I don't know how long the camera wasn't recording, but whatever.
Hopefully that whole thing.
Hey, if anybody wants to just give me like an Atomos Ninja 5, I would be so grateful if you did that.
Yeah, man. I got you.
Like, if you just want to
throw it on the old,
throw me like $900
credit card, yeah, too easy.
You know, I'd greatly appreciate it. It'd make recording so much easier. But anyways, I feel like we're all right. So obviously, there it goes again.
Oh, it never went on when you clicked it.
No, it did. I don't know. I don't know if the video is gonna make it to the end. But anyways,
who knows?
So yeah, obviously we have very different points of where we're both our hometowns versus here.
Let us know what your favorite beach is. Wherever you've been. I know we got friends up north that are gonna be like, oh, like,
nice
the Jersey Shore, man, shit's lit. Like, no, bro, stop.
It's very hard to compare. All I'm saying is it's hard to compare places from the mainland to Hawaii because Hawaii is its own. It's just it's an island. It is in a tropical, like literally
weather.
It's a tropical environment.
So yeah, it is, and it honestly. So I hate the cold. I hate it. I can't do it. Can't deal with it. I hate it. But that being said, it does get kind of like annoying, and I do kind of miss at least having seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
We're like here, like the only seasons have.
I've
is
never
like
really experienced.
Is in the mainland's wintertime. It just rains here. It just rains a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have family
That's
up
really the
north,
only difference.
So I've been up there for the winter. I've been up there for the summer, but I've never really lived in somewhere where I've experienced the seasons like Florida.
Fall.
I mean, it like in Florida, like it's like it doesn't get cold like it does in the north. Absolutely not.
North Florida does,
but like
North Florida can get.
See, that's still
even in Tampa. It's been down to like the 30s.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So
like, you still
to me,
have
that's cold.
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
Like you still have seasons. Like it's like, you know, it doesn't get as like cold as it does in like Illinois. Like I mean, they get like negatives.
Living in Ohio, you got everything.
I would literally die.
Ohio's.
You remember, bro? I could not handle myself.
Dude, Fort Leonard Wood's different. Fort Leonard Wood
is a different
Fort Leonard Wood is a different animal.
I couldn't handle myself, bro.
Fort
I
Leonard
was
Wood
like,
is a different
I
animal.
was dying.
Dude, negative 17, bro. I
Not even then, bro. Even, bro, 30 at Leonard Wood is so much different than 30 in Ohio. It is completely different.
and
30 at Leonard Wood.
it's also
like,
different because in basic training it's
Like-
negative 5 degrees. And I'm like, all right, PT shorts and long
Long-sleeve shirt.
long sleeve PT shirt.
Oh,
The hell
someone
out
forgot
there.
their long sleeve
Yeah.
shirt.
Oh,
Everyone
someone
take 'em
forgot
off.
the long sleeve shirt. All right, short sleeve
like,
summer
all right,
PTs.
cool, yeah, we're about to go on a run. Like, okay, well, we'll probably start sweating. It's all right.
Yeah,
Nah, hell no. Get back from that run, you're sweating, and then you
Yeah,
stand
sweat.
there for
sweat
fucking 30 minutes.
sweatsicles from your nose.
You have ice on your shirt and your fucking beanie cap. Like,
Beating cap's frozen. You can literally like. Oh man,
my God.
I will
That's what I
definitely
knew.
say like I'm so grateful that I haven't lived somewhere where it's that cold all the time.
telling me.
Like
Yeah. Bro, I mean, that's the coldest I've ever experienced. That is the coldest weather I've ever experienced in my life.
Ohio gets freaking cold.
Oh, I know it does.
We would have like
But luckily, all the times that I've visited my family in Ohio, I haven't. It hasn't been. I've seen snow. I've seen like good few feet of snow once, but like
no.
maybe like 2 feet of snow one time. But other than that, the most snow I've ever seen was like 10 inches, and
Yeah,
it
no.
shut down my entire state. It
Yeah.
shut down all of Alabama.
Yeah,
for,
in,
like,
in college we didn't
a
have
week,
like
2 weeks.
snow days. We had cold days. So it was literally like I think it had to be below negative like 15, negative 20.
No, so when I was in
And they
high
would
school,
shut down all the buildings, and that's it. It was like weeks on end, I think, on and off at Cincinnati when I was there.
We did that when I was in high school, and like they would close school. They would
Yeah,
shut down
it
the
was too cold.
whole city schools if it was below like 30 or like 20 below 25.
What?
They're like,
Wimps.
we ain't going.
Wimps.
They're like, we ain't going.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even think my school did that.
That's
If
like
it-
I think Texas got snow one time. They shut down the whole school system. We
If
were
it
like,
rained and dropped below like 30, you're like, can't go. It's
Well,
gonna ice.
So the
Can't
thing
go.
with Florida is like Florida's it's bipolar. You know, 7:00 in the morning it's 30 degrees. By 10:00 it's almost 80.
80, 90, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, so like you dress in like pants, 2 long sleeve t-shirts and a hoodie, and then by the time lunch comes around, you're peeling all your freaking clothes
You
off.
cut the sleeves off
Like-
with a pair of school scissors.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it'd get to 6:00 at night. As soon as that sun goes down, 20-degree difference.
Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of how it was like for me, like at least in the wintertime where I grew up and where my parents live now, and in Mobile where I went to college at. Like, I mean, it's like, so Mobile is just rain, constant. Like it would rain for like Forrest Gump in Vietnam type rain. Like, I mean, it would rain
Just
for
never
like
stops.
days and days and days.
Yeah, Florida has its moments too.
Like it was, I mean, it was just like you don't even know. Like you're just like, oh, might as well. It's sunny right now. Might as well wear my rain jacket and like carry some fucking boots in my car.
For you guys watching on YouTube or listening on whatever platform, if you can comment down below where you're listening from or your hometown, whatever.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you like about it, what you hate about it.
Yeah.
Talk shit about where I'm from, please. We can have a whole argument.
So, all right. So, I guess we'll move on to. I guess we'll close out with this question. Do you think it is better to plan everything you can to the like? Do you think it's better? Like, let's say you plan a 2-year, a 5-year, or a 10-year plan, or do you think it can be beneficial to just go with the flow, kind of like fly by the seat of your pants?
I would definitely rather. Well, I'm a planner as it is. That's just like who I am as a human. But, I mean, I would rather have everything planned out to a T. Not that I do. I'm not like super plan as far as like 5-year, 10-year plans. Because I think I look back, especially like women, like when you're in high school, you think you have your whole life planned out. Like, I'm going to get married. I remember my friends and I always talking, you're going to get married at like, maybe in college, 23, 24, have kids by 26, get a house by 30, you're going to have a stable job, and it all sounds super nice rainbows, butterflies. And usually, for the most part, that's not exactly how your life goes. But I would rather have it planned out just because, like I was saying earlier, it gives you goals as far as like, what kind of lifestyle am I going to want to live in 10 years? You know, am I going to want to have like this amount of income with this lifestyle with like, this is how I'm going to provide for my family. And if it changes, then yeah, you have a backup plan. But if you're like going by the seat of your pants through life, you're not thinking, you know, necessarily as far ahead. Like, I think when I get to 10 years out and I look back, I'm going to be like, dang, good thing I planned to start saving this much money and work this hard at my job, or, you know, take care of this relationship now because I planned for that. You know, I planned for what I wanted in 10 years.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, you know, I think personally, I'm like kind of a mashup between the two, but I'm kind of leaning like a 70-30 type, I guess, difference, but I'm kind of leaning towards more just go with the flow. You're going to have to roll with the punches anyways. So, you know, you can plan all you want to, but eventually you're just going to have to like you're just going to have to roll with what's thrown at you. So, you know, I think that kind of knowing that going into your plans is definitely, you know, I think that's definitely beneficial if you like kind of like, not necessarily, I'm not saying like don't plan because you know that your plans are going to get ruined. Like, it's not like they're not going to get ruined. Like, it'll make it hard. You know,
unless you make some life
it'll get hard
decisions.
Yeah,
you know, do something illegal or something.
I mean, yeah, but like it'll get hard and it'll get difficult to keep your plans going. But like it, you know, I don't know. That's what I'm not saying not to plan, but I think having a plan in place and then knowing that you're just gonna have to roll with the punches and you're gonna have to go with the flow at some point. It gives you like, so like when you're, I you know, feel like this like analogy is probably kind of corny, but like, you know, you're getting like smacked around by life, right? And like you have a direction to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you just get smacked and you're like, oh hell, and like turn around and do a complete 180 back to where you just came from. Like, nah.
Kind of like fall down 9 times, get up 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, but I mean, I think that like when you get up each time, you have a direction to move to.
Yeah.
It's not like you just get up and run wherever. It's like you have a direction to move towards, and you have something to move towards and put your efforts towards. Every time you get knocked down and you get back up, you have a direction you're moving towards. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's not a bad thing. And I feel like me, like I've kind of lived that way my entire life. Kind of never really had an exact plan. Kind of did fly by the seat of my pants a little bit. You know, I don't think I ever really had made. I've never really made a plan that was like a 2-year, a 5-year, 10-year. But I think that I do have that kind of like, I am a planner. I do like planning things, but like I'm kind of the same. Like I feel like, you know, it's okay to kind of like go with the flow at times. You know, if things are going well for you, you know, it's kind of like, all right, well, let's just see where this goes. You know, I don't think that's a bad thing. But I think what matters is what kind of life do you want to live? You know, do you want to be able to live kind of like a lavish lifestyle? Do you want to be able to make, do you want to be able to make money? Like, do you want to be rich? Do you want to like, are you a money-driven kind of person? Or are you the kind of person who doesn't really care about money and just cares about, you know, being able to put food on the table, having a roof over your head, and being able to enjoy the company around you? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I teeter back and forth between the two. But I think that if you want to live a lavish lifestyle, then yeah, planning is absolutely essential. Because there's no way that you're going to be able to make the money that you want to make by going with the flow and flying by the seat of your pants. Because it requires you to plan. It requires you to have like set up certain things because you need to have things set up. You need to have things planned out to be able to make more money. That's just how it is.
Right, but then so like you also have to almost like have contingencies in place.
Exactly.
So like you're like, you know what, this really is a significant possibility that this might happen and throw off my plans. Then like if that does happen, then like I'm gonna do this, or if that happens, I'm gonna do this.
Right. So having a plan B, plan A and plan B. Back to that.
Planning.
So, and I will say like.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know.
It does boil down to that. I knew when I put that topic in that the plan A, plan B was going to come up.
Like I like sticking to plan A, but it is, I'm kind of going to go back on my words. Like it's essential to have a plan B.
I think so.
Like
I think so.
It's
Imperative.
Yeah, it's imperative to have a plan B. But again, if you're the type of person who wants to live a kind of lifestyle where you just want to be able to put food on the table, have a roof over your head and enjoy the people around you, that's totally fine. And there's something about that lifestyle that brings like comfort and warmth brings warmth, and it's just like something. There is an attractive it is attractive. That lifestyle is attractive to a lot of people, and there's a lot of times when things are going, when it's hectic, when a lot of chaos is happening in your life, where you just want to be like, man, I wish I was just working a regular 9 to 5, being able to come home every day to my family and just relax, and not have a lot of worries.
That being said, I don't think you have to choose between the two necessarily. I don't think it's completely like imperative that you choose between the two. Between like, okay, am I gonna kind of focus my life around like around my family or being successful? Like the superficial definition of successful. You know what I mean? Like,
success is whatever you want it to be, man.
Yeah.
It's what you make it, yeah. But like I think that you can make plenty of money and you can like be successful in your career and whatever else you do, but you can also like prioritize your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason that you have to choose between like making enough money, being rich, living lavish, whatever you want to do, and choosing your family. You know what I mean?
And this is my opinion, but that right there that's being able to, be good at time management.
Yeah, which I'm not. So
like knowing like, okay, I know I need to put in this amount of time and effort into going where I want to go with my life, but I also know these people are very important to me, and I have to make time for them. And it's knowing how to work, the 24 hours that you have in a day. It's knowing how to work those or work that every single day and creating that balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of times,
I would agree.
I would say like the people that you care about most, like, do need to be understanding
of where
you are going.
Yeah, with your career, where you want to go. Like so that kind of comes into where communication comes into play. Yeah. Where like you communicate your goals, and then they communicate that they understand, and they're like, okay, like I understand what it's gonna take for you to achieve this goal. And I understand that, like, I may have to, like, sacrifice some attention or some time, whatever it is. But, like, I also realize, like, why you're doing this. And it's, like, say, like, it's, you want to achieve this goal because it's going to better our family. But I understand that it's going to take time away from our family for you to actually achieve that goal,
Yeah. Well, I think it's, like, kind of how you said it. Like, I mean, balance sounds nice and everything, but I think it's, like, making everyone in your life aware of like, this is where I want to go in life, like this is my plan. So I mean, ideally you have a support system to allow you to have that like season of your life to like hustle, and if that is your goal to have like a lavish lifestyle, like you're gonna have different seasons of your life of like one, yeah, you might have to sacrifice like a little bit of family time, but like you were saying, like if they're aware and they make you like, they understand that you're making a little bit of sacrifice maybe with time, but they know it's to benefit them in the long run and things like that. And then you also have that season like when you that like moment where you accomplish where you want to accomplish and you have that season to like be with your family. And I think it's just like kind of alternating, but being very clear with like your expectations and their expectations so that you can kind of work together and achieve like the same things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think, you know, as far as like the whole life planning goes, and that question that you brought up for us to kind of end the topic with, I'm definitely a 70-30 guy. I'm going to say like have your plan, but also be ready to like to go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Never like always expect, I would say always expect the worst, you know?
Absolutely. So what is it? Plan for the worst and expect, or no? Wait.
Expect the worst, but plan for the best.
Plan for the worst too.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
Yeah, you know the
I
saying
think it's I'm pretty sure it's expect the worst.
I think the army like made me forget that. I think it's
No, it's
expect the worst.
definitely
and plan
expect
for
the
worst, 'cause
worst,
that's what's
but
gonna happen.
hope
For the
or
plan.
I don't know. We'll have to
knows?
figure that out.
You know, this Elijah Craig kind of. You know, I think we need to revisit that episode about dementia.
I'm
and
saying
how whiskey
like
prevents dementia, because I think it's hitting me at this.
I
point.
think the next episode, let's make a note to talk about like the benefits from whiskey.
And the okay, too easy. So
Yeah.
next episode is going to be
Episode
about
12.
the benefits and the drawbacks to drinking whiskey.
Yeah. Because I did watch a video this
The way
morning
that
that
we
stated a lot of very good benefits.
I've seen that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So so there are a lot of good health benefits, but there's also a good bit of drawbacks.
There's pros and cons to drinking whiskey, so just keep that in mind. But
And
anyways,
sometimes I can hear my liver. Might hear my liver crying at night.
might be, but anyways, we appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 11 of the Whiskey Ways podcast, and we greatly appreciate your guys' support. You know, again, you know, there's the fee, like I mentioned in the last episode. All it is, you guys just have to press the like button whenever you watch this video, and if you've made it this far, then you're definitely an OG, and we appreciate you for watching the entirety of our videos and listening to the entirety of the podcast in general, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever platform we're on. So with that being said, stay tuned for future episodes. This is definitely not slowing down anytime soon. If anything, it's about to speed up. So
Also, our publicist gave us a new YouTube a new YouTube format. So
yeah,
might see some changes coming to our YouTube and a lot more videos coming throughout the week.
Yeah.
So
Courtney, are there any final notes that you'd like to give? Any shout outs? Any?
did you rate the whiskey?
No, I said I couldn't. It wouldn't be
I
fair.
think you
because
should.
I would
I
rate
think you
probably
should.
all of them.
I think you should take one last little sip
Well, I don't have
and
any
then
sips left.
and then give it a
I gave Dylan my last sips.
give it a
I'll give you a little.
give it a
taste.
number, because you do drink whiskey.
I do.
You might mix it, but you do drink whiskey. So let us know what you think.
Okay, I'm smelling it.
Drum roll.
I'm agitating it. This is gonna be embarrassing.
Oh. No.
Okay.
I was expecting a really
Okay.
sour face.
I tried really hard. Poker face.
All right.
Okay,
5
okay.
seconds.
I know it's a good whiskey. I'll say 5 out of 10. I don't drink whiskey straight.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay. You know
I
what?
like flavored whiskeys. It's not flavored, so for me, it's 5.
All right, that's fair. I guess.
Would you drink a 5 out of 10 a second time?
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard because she's, you know, again, she doesn't drink whiskey on a regular basis. So.
No.
But anyways,
I like this stuff. 9.1. I think that's my highest rating. I think that's higher than
That is.
I gave last week,
yeah.
which is saying. Yeah, this is.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank